Hey everyone, what's good? It's your boy Daheem, aka Deek the Jeweler, and I'm here to drop some jewels on you. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome to Action Man, the podcast for those guys in their 20s and 30s and beyond who want to actually win at life. No motivational fluff, no endless therapy sessions, just straight talk with practical tools you can actually use. Sidebar: why you even doing this, Daheem? I don't even know. But to tell you the truth, I purchased a lot of this stuff, this equipment for the podcast, but I didn't really think about what I wanted to talk about. I mean, what can I talk about that's not already out there? Thought that if I share some of this information that's working with me, maybe it could work for you. I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to be sharing with you some of the information that I wish someone would have shared with me in my earlier years. It would have saved me a lot of years of chasing the wrong scoreboard. And I promise, by the end of this, you'll have a clearer playbook on what actually works. Now, I'm not going to dive too deep into my past, but I used to make money. Money. And I did it all, had 2 jobs, had a few side hustles. But I realized half the success advice out there is outdated, exaggerated, or is designed to keep you chasing what society's definition of success is. They push these lies because they sell courses or keep people compliant. As men, we pay the price. We wind up burnt out, broken families, quiet regret. Today, I'm dismantling the 5 biggest lies I believe and testing myself. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you're ready for that no BS truth. And now, without further ado, let's jump right into lie number 1. Hard work alone guarantees success. Lies. Lies, I say. Society sells, just grind harder, outwork everyone and you'll win. The truth is, hard work alone is a gamble. In and of itself, it's a gamble. But direction, leverage, timing, and luck, a little bit of luck, or even a lot of luck, matters more. What works is smart work. What is smart work? Being consistent, having a plan. Like, all right, I'm going into this job, and this is what I do. This is where I see myself, and this is what I'm going to do to get there, right? You have to hone in on that high value skill that only you bring to the table. In my case, just as an example, in my case, I have a knack for connecting with people, being very personable. Right? I'm in sales, so that's important. People buy from people they like. And so I have a tendency for making people feel as if, I don't know, I'm a long lost cousin or a dear friend they haven't seen in years, right? Before I started working at the job I'm at now, I work at a high-end jewelry store. But before I was working here, I was managing a store where we sold mattresses. And I know you're saying to yourself, like, okay. But I was on par to make over 6 figures a year just selling mattresses. So yes, that's the thing. You can make a lot of money in it. And I was one of the top salespersons in the company. But to add to what I was just saying, earlier, was that one of those high value skills that I recognized in myself was that knack, being able to connect with people. And I was really good at it. I am really good at it. It's just something that I've always been good at, is being able to connect with people and kind of like meeting them where they are, being able to dismantle whatever fears may come, especially when it comes to a person wanting to spend, I don't know, 15, 20 grand on a bed. It has to make sense, but the connection that you build with them is what really makes that decision a lot easier. And this is something that I recognize. So going back to the premise of this particular point, hard work alone doesn't do it. I know you know a whole bunch of people, or there's a lot of people that in your life or that you know of who's been working really hard for really long, but they're in that same spot. They're that same person that's getting overlooked for the promotion. They're the one who's undervalued. They're not even thought of in the break room. You know, he's just there. They can guarantee that he's going to change the garbage. He's going to do all the things that you would hope people recognize. But this is overlooked. He's not standing out. Or she. You're not standing out. Once you hone in on what you bring to the table, and only you can bring this to the table. Once you hone on that, come up with that plan, create that plan, and execute. Lie number 2 is that success equals money, status, things, stuff. Society sells the idea that wealth, fancy cars, big houses means that you're really a man. Like, and without these things, you're not one. But the truth is that these things, these tangible things, are just a byproduct or a trap. They're a trap when that's all you're chasing is this stuff, these things. The truth is, again, you have to define what success means to you. Success is an internal thing, something that's from inside you. Allowing yourself that time to develop what those successes look like for you, creating those short-term goals is all the success that you need from inside. And success is built from inside out. I truly believe this. If you are constantly measuring your successes based off of external things, and when you don't attain these things or achieve them, you are going to continuously destroy yourself. Destroy is but you can. You're gonna break yourself down inside. So even if all along the way you're hitting some of these markers, it's the journey, the way that you're going about your journey to achieve these things, because you're constantly comparing yourself to what's going on outside that is destroying you on the inside. So when you do finally get to some major goal, you're not going to even be able to appreciate it because you've done so much damage on the inside. I remember when I was, I think I had to be about 17, 18. And for a time, I was like, yo, once I make it to $10,000, once I save up $10,000, I'm that guy. I made it. Right? But the ways that I went about, acquiring that money, constantly, again, comparing myself to the people around me and the things that they were doing. By the time I did get to 10,000, there was no feeling of excitement. In fact, it only drove me to want more. And as I should at that time, or any time. It's not the wanting. I truly believe it's the journey. Getting to the place as opposed to arriving is all that we're made of, right? But the vehicle in which you're taking to get there matters even all the more, right? How you're getting there, it matters all the more. And I truly believe that as well. Okay, lie number 3, I feel like it's going to resonate with a lot of people. And that lie is, you're behind. you're behind if you haven't reached milestone such and such by age whatever. Society tells you that you're supposed to have this. This is what your life is supposed to look like by this age. You know, this is the car you're supposed to be driving, the house, or what have you. And the reality is that life isn't linear. It's not linear in 2026. It wasn't in 1890s. It's just not linear, right? The reality is you have to run your own race. You have to. And you know, I'm going to continue to say that more of what success is about what is defined by the person, by you, whatever you define success. Okay, I'll say this, right? A few years ago, I wasn't in this position that I'm in right now, right? I wasn't doing too well. Let's just say that. I wasn't doing too well. I was sleeping on some couches, right? And, you know, right before I went into working at the mattress company, I was staying with family members. I was sleeping on couches. And I'm not going to say I had to beg and borrow, but it was kind of there. It was cutting it kind of close. But again, I had to make do with what it is that I know I bring to the table. I've never given up on myself. You know, even when I was going through that particular point in my life, I never given up on myself, and I know what I bring to the table. It's just about activating it. And so when I decided to activate it, you know, stop feeling sorry for myself, actually get to work, show up, no days off, stay the course, you know, and voila, you know, I'm not saying I live in a mansion, that I drive the most, the best cars or the fanciest, but I do okay. More than okay in my book, because again, I'm the one who defines what success looks like. And I feel like I'm successful. Can I be more successful? Yes. But I'm not giving up. I'm still running the race, my race. And I'm not letting any of the external, the outside forces, pressures, anything from outside govern, guide, or rule what I do. I'm running my own race right now, as you should, as a man. Lie number 4, you have to do it all alone. Society says that real men are independent and they get it done solo. Lies. The reality is isolation it kills momentum. It destroys it. What works for me personally is a network, a group, having those connections, those phone calls, people to hold you accountable even, right? Mentors. A small little community of me, people who are like-minded and or in those spaces I want to be, who are generous with the wisdom and information that they've acquired over the years. And they want to see you in a better spot. That's a really big thing, is actually having people in your corner who want to see you win. And know that you can. That sometimes you just need an attaboy. You got it. Keep going. Just keep pushing. I have a person that's in my life, my brother. But even if he wasn't my brother, I have such a strong connection with this guy. I mean, I don't even have to call him every day. He's one of those type of relationships. I'm sure that you all have that one person, or maybe you got 5 of them, where you don't even got to talk to them every day. But as soon as you do talk to him, it was just like you were just talking. I have that type of connection with this person, and he's someone I look to as a mentor. You know, when I decided to come, sit down, start doing this, he's the first person I called. He's the first person to remind me of what I look like then and what I look like now. And he helps to continue that vision of what I'm going to look like if I stay the course, right? So you must have a community of you, people who are like-minded, who want to see you win. I don't care if it's just one person. That could be the community, your network, your conglomerate, whatever you want to call it. You have to have that as a man, because at the bare minimum, at the least, you need someone to hold you accountable when you start slacking. You know you slacking. Some new person might know that you're slacking, but this person knows when you're slacking, and they're gonna hold you accountable. Like, yo, bro, well, you said you was gonna take care of such and such 2 months ago. I mean, are you still trying to do that? Or, that guy. I got that guy. I don't like always talking to him, especially when he's talking like that. But I need that, and I know that. So I stay in tune with that, or with him, for that reason. If that makes sense. Okay, and finally, lie number 5. Success will make you happy and fix all your problems. Society tells you that once you finally achieve your ultimate goal, you got all the monies, you got all the women, you can do anything you want whenever you want, right? That you're gonna feel complete. That void is gonna finally be filled. You're never gonna need for anything. You're never gonna be unhappy. You did it. You beat the final boss. But the reality is, no, it doesn't work. Life doesn't work that way. So why would achieving the ultimate goal work that way? Have you been living life? Like, are you living life? You think that once you get all the stuff, all the things, that it's over? Nah, bro, it don't work that way. Now, listen, I can tell you from a personal experience, I had all the stuff. I did all the things. In my younger years, I did all the stuff and all the things that I wanted to do at that time. I did. I went to all the places. I've been to every state in United States except for South Dakota and Alaska. I've been all over the world. I did it. I did all the stuff. I slam dunked it. Some of the things I did twice just to make sure I meant it. Right? But I still didn't feel fulfilled. And I think that partially the reason for that is because, first, some of the way I went about it, right? Achieving those successes, getting to those goals, right? And then, secondly, I didn't know what success looked like for me. I did all the things that I seen other people doing that I thought were successful, right? So I was really chasing a lot of people around me's success. I the cars, some of the cars I purchased, some of the, the chains and the watches, even the clothes, right? I seen other people with them. I was like, all right, that looks like fun. He looks like he's happy. Let me go try that, right? I out of all of that, I would like to say that traveling for me was something that really fulfilled me. I love traveling. In fact, when I was a kid, when I was younger, I used to board the Metro North. This is when I was about like 13, 14. I used to board the Metro North, which is the train that'll take you from my town to New York City. It's about on the train. I can't remember. Maybe like an hour and a half, 2 hours on the train. Maybe an hour. I don't remember. But it would take you to New York City. But it has all those stops all along the way. I used to get off at every stop. That was like my mission. I used to do like food. You know how they have those shows where those guys will go all around the world and try all different type of foods. I used to do that. When I was 13, 14 years old, I would get off at Croton Harmon or Yonkers, New Hamburg, all the different Beacon, all the different stops I would get off. And this is when cabs were a thing. This was before Uber and the Lyfts. This is when cabs were there. I would get off. They would always have like a cab sitting right there at the station. And I would go to them. Look at me, this young kid, but I had the money. And I was like, hey, man, can you take me on a tour of your city? Right? And I got this little camcorder. And I'm recording the city. My brother probably has this stashed away. That same intro I was talking about probably has that camera or the footage stashed away. But I would film my little tour, and then I would judge the entire city based off of the best diner. I would like take me to the best diner that you guys have here, and I would judge the whole city based off of the diner's New England clam chowder. I still love, but loved it did. New England clam chowder at the time. So I could kind of see why just the traveling aspect of, my old life, my past life was something that I feel fulfilled by, because it was something that I defined early. I like to see the world. I wanted to get out. I wasn't one of those kids that didn't think I would ever make it out of my city. I always had like a forward thinking mind in that regard. But even earlier in my life, that was one of those things I defined for myself. And it fulfilled me. But the tangible things, the monies, the cars, the clothes, the jewelry, none of that did it for me. So if that's what you're thinking success is for you, and it could be, don't get me wrong, that might be it for you, but you have to define that based off of your own terms. Basically, not having any outside influences when it comes to what you define as success will be a success in and of itself. How's that? Right? I truly believe that success is defined by the person who's living, by the person who's setting the course, by the person who's getting up every day, going out and working those 8, 10, 12-hour shifts. You define what success is for yourself. You can't have anyone else's definition of success be something that consumes you on a daily basis. It'll only be a detriment to you in the long term. Because if you're chasing everyone else's success, then I don't think you're ever going to reach your own. All right. Man to man, you're not broken. You're not late. And you don't have to buy the lies anymore. Society wants you chasing shadows so you feel distracted and compliant. But you're smarter than that. You're a man with agency. Start small. Stay consistent. Protect your peace. Protect your peace at all costs, by the way. Protect it. Build something real. You've got everything you need inside you already. The world just doesn't want you to remember it. This is me signing out as a man. Until we lock in again, go out there in the world and be the man you respect. And be good at it. And if you can't be good, be great at it. I'll holler at y'all later. until the next episode. Peace.